Hello guys, welcome to Talk Session with Chichi. If you are new on this channel, please kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell. How did he find grace in the eyes of the Lord? How did he become a just man, a perfect man in his generation? What happened? Okay, in Genesis chapter 6 verse 5, okay, the Bible records that God saw the wickedness of man that was great upon the earth, and every imagination of his heart was continually evil. And God said, I will wipe out the whole earth. So how come in the midst of that declaration, Noah was found righteous? What happened? The thing that you need to understand is that the testimony of God is conveyed, that testimony is conveyed through a message. Okay, so what testimony did Noah receive? Noah received the testimony of grace. Okay, Noah found grace in the sight of God. Now, grace is revealed or is embodied in a message. Okay, it was embodied in a message. Now, if you go to the book of Genesis chapter 15 verse 6, Genesis chapter 15 verse 6 says, and Abraham believed in the Lord, and it was counted to him as righteousness. Okay, now it's important to know that that word righteousness is the same word used for Noah. Okay, when the Bible records that Noah was a just man. See, that just is the same word with righteous. Okay, what did Abraham believe in the Lord about? Okay, Abraham believed the promises of God. Abraham believed that as God had said it, that my seed will be as the stars. Okay, so how did Noah also get his own report? How did he get that testimony of grace? How did he get that testimony of being just and being perfect in his generation? There was a message. Okay, so before there is a judgment, okay, there is always a message. So what message did Noah hear? Okay, in verse 13 of Genesis chapter 6, it said the Lord came to Noah, okay, and he spoke to Noah. All right, the end of all flesh is come, and the Lord spoke to him in verse 30. He said, make thee an ark of gopher wood. Okay, I'm just going to jump it. Then in verse 18 he said, but with you will I establish my covenant. Okay, so it means that the Lord came to Noah and began to speak to him of his plan of establishing a covenant with him. All right, now listen, he began to speak to him on establishing his covenant. All right, and that message, that God coming to him, whether through a vision or however means the Lord spoke to Noah, it is counted as grace. Okay, this was the message of Noah that made him just, that made him perfect. He was perfect in the context of God establishing his covenant, that is God revealing to him, okay, that make you an ark of gopher wood, which I said is symbolic. Okay, and he believed God when he said, I will establish my covenant with you. All right, so where the grace of God is concerned, there is no iota of work. When the grace of God is on play, okay, there is no iota of work that can feature in grace. Okay, so the Lord came to Noah, okay, in a world that is wicked, that is evil, that the imagination of their thoughts was, perverse. All right, and God came with the message of the covenant, and Noah believed. All right, it was not said plainly that Noah believed, but let's look at verse 22 of Genesis chapter 6. It says, thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, so did he. You will also see that in Genesis chapter 7 verse 5. It said, and Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. All right, because you need to understand that the covenant is in the testimony. All right, the covenant is in the testimony. The covenant is not far-fetched from the testimony. All right, the covenant is not far-fetched from the testimony. So if you are looking at the testimony, remember I said is a message. Okay, it's a message. That is why most people will not receive the testimony, because if you look at it casually, okay, when God was using the stars to tell Abraham that this is how plenteous, or this is how innumerable your seed is going to look like, it looked like a joke. but Abraham saw and he believed. The same thing with Noah. The flood had not come. The Lord is saying, build an ark. Build an ark, and it's the ark that will preserve you. And he moved with faith. Okay, so if you look at the testimony casually, you will not access the covenant, because the covenant is always wrapped in the testimony. All right, it is always wrapped in the testimony. All right, thank you very much for watching. See you next time.